All right, Mr. Antonucci here, and in this video, I want to talk to you briefly about functions. So let's start off with kind of like the textbook definition of a function. A function is a set D to a set R, is a rule that assigns to every element in D a unique element in R. The set of all input values in D is called the domain of the function, and the set of all output in R is the range. That's why we called it D and R. In function notation, we use f parentheses x to denote the range value of f that f assigns to the domain value x. And you read it f of x. It does not mean f times x. The set of all points x comma and y in the coordinate plane determined by the rule y equals f of x is the graph of the function f. The variable x is, as always, the independent variable, and the variable y, or the value of f of x, is the dependent variable. So I wanted to look at some function notations and examples. So f of x is our standard notation for functions. Often you'll see g of x used and h of x used, and then other letters as well. But these are the three most common, and sometimes, often, the reason we use different letters is to denote different functions. So let's just say f of x equals x plus 2, x squared plus 2, excuse me. So if I wrote f of 2, that means evaluate the function f when x is 2. So you substitute 2 in for x and solve and simplify the equation. So 2 squared is 4, and 4 plus 2 is going to be 6. Okay. If I wrote f of a, that means you simply substitute a into the function x, f of x, where anywhere there's an x. So this would simplify to a squared plus 2. Now in this case, you can't simplify any further because you don't know what the value of a is. If you had something, you can even substitute quantities, f of a plus 2, into the function f of x. So I'm going to substitute the quantity a plus 2 in for x in the function f anywhere there's an x. So it would be a plus 2 squared plus 2. Now, when you square a binomial like this, remember, you can't just square the a and square the 2. You have to multiply them together. In other words, you would have to FOIL that out. So we can do the first. A times a is going to give you a squared. The outers is going to be 2a, and the inners are going to give you 2a, which would simplify to 4a, plus the last will give you 4. 2 times 2 is 4, and then plus the 2 at the end. So this whole thing would simplify to a squared plus 4a plus 6. Okay, in general, whatever this stuff is that's in the where the x is in f of x, so like f of stuff, you're going to put the stuff wherever x is in your equation. So it'd be stuff squared plus 2 in this case. Okay, so if you had a different equation like x cubed minus 4x squared plus 3x minus 17, you would have to do all of these things anywhere there was a value of x. All right, hope that was helpful to you in understanding functions.